What if one extra day could change everything? For over a century, the rhythm of modern life has followed a familiar pattern. 5 days of work, 2 days of rest. It's a structure so deeply embedded into our lives that we rarely question it. Monday feels heavy, Friday feels like freedom, and somewhere in between, people quietly trade time for survival. But what if that balance was never designed for the world we live in today? Across the globe, something unusual is happening. Companies, governments, and everyday workers are beginning to ask a simple but radical question. What if we worked less and lived more? This is the story of the 4-day work experiment. In cities buzzing with deadlines and fluorescent lights, burnout has become a silent epidemic. Long hours, constant notifications, and the pressure to always be on have blurred the line between work and life. For many, weekends aren't rest, they're recovery. And then came the experiment. It didn't start with certainty. It started with doubt. When the idea of a 4-day workweek was first introduced, critics called it unrealistic, even dangerous. How could businesses survive with fewer working hours? Would productivity collapse? Would people simply do less? But something unexpected happened. In one company, employees walked into their offices on a Monday morning knowing they would leave on Thursday evening, with no reduction in pay. At first, it felt like a trick. People waited for the catch, but there wasn't one. Instead, something shifted. Meetings became shorter. Distractions were cut. Priorities became clearer. People started focusing not on how long they worked, but on what they actually achieved. And as the weeks passed, the results began to speak. Productivity didn't fall. In many cases, it rose. Stress levels dropped. Absenteeism declined. People reported feeling more energized, more focused, and, perhaps most importantly, more human. Because time is not just hours on a clock. It's the space where life happens. With an extra day, parents spent more time with their children. Artists picked up forgotten passions. Some simply rested, without guilt, without pressure. A quiet kind of freedom began to return. And businesses noticed something else. Happier employees stayed longer. They collaborated better. They care more. It turns out, when people feel valued, they give more than just their time. But the story isn't perfect. Not every industry can adapt so easily. Healthcare, retail, and essential services face complex challenges. For some, reducing days means compressing hours, which can create new forms of pressure. The solution is not one size fits all. And yet, the idea continues to spread. From small startups to entire countries testing nationwide trials, the 4-day workweek is no longer just an experiment. It's becoming a movement, a quiet rebellion against the belief that more hours equal more success. Because maybe productivity isn't about working longer. Maybe it's about working smarter. And maybe success isn't just measured in profits and performance, but in time, energy, and the ability to truly live. Imagine a world where Fridays feel like possibilities instead of exhaustion, where work supports life instead of consuming it, where people are not defined by how busy they are, but by how fulfilled they feel. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but sometimes the most powerful changes begin with a single question. What if we stopped measuring our worth by how much we work and started measuring it by how well we live? The 4-day work experiment doesn't promise perfection, but it offers something rare in today's world, a chance to rethink everything, and maybe, just maybe, a chance to take back time.